Greetings.
Keys to the kingdom, you see me sitting on the throne. I got God's spirit in me, break all these demons in my phone. These fake friends like AI, making it up as they go. Ink is cheap, but on check, I'm a new tax bracket. Whoa.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
You know I'm on beast, man. You know my fish stay frozen, surrounded by conflict. They stay begging for the smoke. They say they can't stand the fire. I put them in the kitchen on the stove. Now let me cook for a minute.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Wild jungle animal, yeah, this hate turned me to a lion. When you praying for a meal, you know somebody's dying. They say I'm hurting all these feelings. The way I touch the racks. Back to back, back to back. Back to back, back to back. The crime epidemic that's reached a level so dangerous. Highest in my city. You can see it in HD.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Yes. I got the keys to the kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. Only one. Let's go.
Keys to the kingdom. You see me sitting on the throne. I got God's spirit in me. Break all these demons in my phone.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Friends like AI, breaking it up as they go. Ink is cheap, but on check. I'm on new tax bracket. Whoa. When it's time to relocate, I'm talking brand new real estate.
Good morning, Mount Negro. Shout out Chicago.
I took the energy of my enemies. Now I'm a god in the cloud. Posted in the hood, flexing my whip before I bump my first
Hey,
house.
good morning.
I just looking at the jet. Going crazy, popping windows in Dubai.
They see a God in disguise.
I got extras for my extras, but I still ain't got enough. I made a deal that cost a condo. True tales from the hood, nightmares coming dreams, fantasies becoming fiction, overcoming like addiction. I got me a mission, I drip a little different. You praying for a miracle while I'm paying for forgiveness.
Good morning, Ann. Beautiful Ann. World can't do me no harm.
Keys to the kingdom, you see me sitting on the
Yes,
throne.
I do have the keys to the kingdom.
Break all these demons in my phone. These fake friends like
Yes, Q Eddie, good morning. Good morning, Little Hawk attacking. Democrats unite! Welcome to the show this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am back in rare form. Oh my gosh, alright, it's showtime. We have an abbreviated show this morning, so I gotta get out of here in a good hour. Alright, so we're gonna fly through this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we do over here on this side of TikTok. Very special. I don't care about their feelings. Moderate Democrat Rudy, good morning, champion. Always a pleasure to see you, my good friend. Happy Friday.
When I'm running up these raps, I'm like the Terminator screaming. I'll be back. It's deja vu.
Yeah, I am like the Terminator.
Class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class.
You could tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Look at my grass, Snuggles. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. Screaming out, we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. That algorithm turned me to a maniac. Yeah.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. Hey. Woo! I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited. Call me the master with a new whip. Taking it off in a spaceship. Here we go.
Yes. It was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Yeah. I do go off the rails, and that's perfectly fine. Andy, we got a red crown.
I'm like the Terminator screaming.
All right. We're going to have to go ahead and pause the music. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, December 15th. Welcome back to the Thunderdome. I am your host, your pilot for the show. All right, now we got a bit of an update. Zeus has we have to have an abbreviated meeting this morning. I can only do an hour. I do apologize, right? Don't boo me. I'm being honest with you. All right, I got prior engagements. I'm so sorry. So I'll try to go through the topics as quick as I can and leave the second half for the panelists to come up here and do what you all can do. That is, if you can, all right? So let's get straight to it. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. Why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple because... Well, the first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? I promise to tell you nothing but the truth. So help me God. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am humble. There's nobody more humble than me, all right? If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize, all right? And then the last and final H is because I am and will always remain the most handsome. Many of you know what we do over here on this side of TikTok. We hold our friends on the right accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, there's plenty of them when it comes to them and their leader, Donald J. Trump. So if you are lactose intolerant, as my good friend Brother Swerve and likes to say, you might want to pack your bags and leave this live. Exit stage left. Exit stage left, because it's about to get hot, all right? But you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Right.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time,
right?
Very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, and with that, the gloves are off, all right? All right, and many of you, you know what we do on this side of TikTok. The gloves are off, all right? I used to be a lot kinder to the Trump supporters, but I can't be kind, not after what I went through yesterday over there in nasty MAGAville, all right? I was in MAGAville yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, in one of the Russian Bears lives, and boy, oh boy, I got what I needed out of that operation, and so with that being said, we all know Friday is story time, right? Today, Shay, you were there too, Shay. Oh my God, we delivered an overwhelming amount of truth in that MAGA-possessed Russian live that we had them on the ropes. They were tapping out. I mean, all the signs that they're lactose intolerant were showing, which was a good thing because that means that's the beginning of the healing, right? And so with that being said, let's get started with this morning's story time, all right? You all know Friday is story time, all right? This is going to be a little bit of a different one. Let me get the here we go. All right, this is a story called Trump supporters are lactose intolerant, or they suffer from Foxmania, right? That's what it is. All right, once upon a time in a small town known as MAGAville. All right, there was a, let me make sure you all know what these folks in MAGAville looks like. You may have seen folks like this. Let me see if any of these pictures could jar any of you folks' memory, all right? Does this look familiar to any of you? These are the folks of MAGAville. You know, they're election deniers, right? This is what they look like. Here they go. Look at them. They walk around and they hold silly signs like this, right? Even though President Biden is the president of the United States of America and has been so for almost 4 years, they still believe somehow Donald Trump is the president. And they still promote these conspiracy theories like 22-380. By the way, if any of you see Snuggles out there, please ask him to provide us with evidence and an update on 22-380, all right? But let's get back to the story, okay? So once upon a time in a small town known as MAGAville, there were a group of people. You know them: Snuggle Bear, Stacy Bear, Janae Bear, Corn Pop Bear, and you name it, they're there, okay? Who called themselves Trump supporters. They were known for their unwavering support of a charismatic and outspoken leader, as well as a criminal named Donald J. Trump, who had a penchant for making bold and often dubious claims. Donald Trump had garnered a loyal following of supporters who admired his confidence and his unapologetic attitude. However, there was something peculiar about the members of these Trump supporters. They all seemed, here it goes, they all seemed to suffer from a strange affliction that caused them to break out in hives, and they would sneeze uncontrollably. They would begin to yell and scream. You know what they sound like when they yell and scream?
Hold on. You poke the bear, you're gonna get the bear.
Right. You know what they sound like, right? And they would hurl insults and spew a bunch of hate and all these other nasty things whenever they were exposed to the truth. And we call it, as my good friend Brother Swerve says, lactose intolerance, or as the Trump supporters like to call it, Foxmania. All right? One day, this is a real true story. A younger Zeus, all right, recently joined TikTok, stumbled upon these Trump supporters and their unusual condition spreading lies and misinformation on their platform. But intrigued by their plight, Zeus decided to investigate a little bit further. Yes, and he discovered that the Trump supporters' allergic reactions to the truth had started. This is based on real research, all right? When Donald Trump came into power, this is when it started. The more they were exposed to his outlandish claims and his disregard for facts, the more their allergic reactions became, all right? Determined to deliver the truth to Americans and these deranged Trump supporters, Zeus, he delved into research about their condition. And he learned that their allergic reaction was not a physical, but a psychological and a spiritual one, right? A manifestation of their unwillingness to accept inconvenient truths that contradicted their beliefs. And armed with this knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, Zeus, me, set out to find a cure, right? So I began to engage in these supporters in open and honest conversations, relentlessly challenging their beliefs and presenting them with verifiable facts, stuff we all do. At first, the Trump supporters, they recoiled. They began experiencing discomfort and irritation at the mere mention of truth. Even the name Zeus itself causes them to tremble. However, Zeus, he persisted, employing patience and you know what? Because he's Triple H, a little empathy as he continued to engage with these MAGA-possessed demons. They went from saying, "We are winning." You should have seen them in the live. They did it yesterday. They went from saying, "We are winning" to "We understand." And in some cases, they said, "We agree," right? They said they agreed, right? Gradually, some of the Trump supporters started showing signs of improvement. This really does happen. Their allergic reactions, they lessened, and then they became more open to considering different perspectives. However, others remain deeply entrenched in their denial of the truth. Folks like clickbait bear, right? Unwilling to confront the discomfort it brought them because they continued to subject themselves to Donald Trump's lies and rhetoric. So, despite this being the case, eventually they all started to come around. Yes, Alvin Bragg, Fonnie Willis, Jack Smith, Letitia James. Once they started to understand that those court cases were very serious and very real, and their leader was going to prison, these Trump supporters started to all come around. And as time passed, Zeus's efforts, my efforts, the efforts of my friends began to bear fruit. And more Trump supporters began to overcome their nasty condition. They actually did something they never have done before. They started to question Donald Trump's claims and demand evidence to support his assertions. But slowly and steadily, this is really what happened. The TikTok live, it began to heal. Yesterday, right? This is a good example. It began to heal from the grips of falsehood and denial. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Taylor Made. In the end, Trump supporters learned, and this is serious. All jokes aside, this is very serious to you Trump supporters that haven't learned this. Facing the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is the only way to foster genuine understanding and progress. Okay, they began to embrace critical thinking, and they began opening their minds and realizing that the truth was with Zeus and his friends, though sometimes it was difficult to accept. And they also agreed that the truth was essential for building a better, more informed country. All right? And so the TikTok live story in MAGAville serves as a powerful reminder that the pursuit of truth and the courage to confront it, no matter the challenge it may present, is fundamental to the well-being of any society. This is right. And that MAGA should always fear Zeus. You should always fear Zeus, MAGA. For he and his friends have the cure to their allergic reaction to the truth, or lactose intolerance, or Foxmania. All right? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end, right? Good. How am I doing on time? Wow. Yes, all right. That is the end, all right? And so that's the cure to the lactose intolerance and Foxmania that Donald Trump supporters suffer from. It's you have to continue to deliver an overwhelming amount of truth to them. And eventually they'll stop singing that ridiculous saying, we're winning. They'll start saying, we understand and we agree, all right? Now let's move on with the today's topics, all right? We got to cruise through this. I only got 15 minutes, jeez. All right, let's go. All right, Dictator Trump plans to deploy massive number of troops on U.S. soil. This is for you Trump supporters. This stuff that you are voting for, I promise you. Mount Negro, thank you. I promise you. I have no reason to lie to you. The very things that you are cheering for, you will be crying for. All right? And I want you to just let that seed I just planted in your brain, let it just sit there for a while. It'll make sense a little later. Donald Trump plans to give himself sweeping powers on day one of a new administration, including sending vast numbers of U.S. troops, potentially hundreds of thousands, to close the southern border and to help build a new network of immigrant detention camps. All right? Trump and some of his lieutenants have repeatedly stated that any second administration must treat migrants crossing as a war on American soil. During Trump's first term, officials and attorneys had thwarted similar plans for a military police force to secure the border due to legal fears, according to a lot of the sources. And now Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, is more determined than ever to surround himself with aides and MAGA-friendly lawyers who can make such draconian policies perfectly legal in a potential second term. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Please get those tomatoes out. Get those boos and shame out because, like I said, it's clear Donald Trump and the Republican Party have no shame, so we must give it to him. Join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters, especially who support this nonsense, the first round of boos and shame this early in the morning on a Friday. You're getting boos and shame because these folks are willing to send their sons and daughters to the United States border just to please Donald Trump, willing to risk the lives of their children for Donald Trump. You folks are sick. Let's give them their boos and shame. The silliest idea ever. That's what I'm talking about. Who are you? Listen, we're going to put the troops on the border. Those are your sons and your daughters. Why would you do that to your own? See, and there's really no reason to have a war when you think about it because most of the crime that's being committed in this country isn't coming from the migrants. It's coming from the people already here. Go look at the statistics. The real criminals are your neighbors, not the migrants. And this is why Donald Trump and his supporters are not going to win again. This is why. Because they don't know what the heck they're saying. They're poorly educated. They're misinformed. And they continue to vote against their best interests. Yesterday in that live, we never got an answer, did we, Shay? Why would you vote Republican, vote for red states when you know that they are constantly stripping women of their rights, trying to attack their reproductive freedom? No answer. I'm just doing it because I feel like they're going after Donald Trump a little too hard. So I feel like I need to defend this guy. Well, you know what? Do so at your own risk, all right? But you won't be able to say you weren't informed. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Jesus, this time is flying. Oh my God. The mountain of evidence against Donald Trump is still growing bigger and bigger. All right. Kenneth Chesebro, who helped formulate the fake electors plot in the 2020, is now reportedly working with prosecutors in multiple states investigating. All right. Many of you understand how this works. This is why I say to people, especially for those of you TikTok lawyers and attorneys out there. Why do you continue to mislead your followers, right? You know, you folks, you got people that really believe you. And if you have any experience with the criminal justice system, you know the one thing they will always tell you is no two cases are the same. All right, listen to what I'm saying. No two cases are the same. So when these lawyers get out here and they start trying to defend Donald Trump, and you know what they like to do, bring up examples. One of these individuals yesterday, they brought up O.J. Simpson, right? We were talking about fraud. We were talking, and somehow this is what they do. They reach for anything to make it make sense, and it doesn't. No two cases are the same. The evidence isn't the same. The jurisdiction most likely isn't the same. It's ridiculous to try to compare it, all right? And so I want to make sure you Trump supporters understand this, all right? Kenneth Chesebro, a lawyer who helped initiate the so-called fake elector plot, is one of those former allies who has been cooperating not just in Georgia but in other states as well, all right? On his attempts to prevent further charges. And what it does is it reminds us that there are still more ongoing attempts in the states to bring the election plotters to justice. Good job, good job. And those cases work their way through the system, Donald Trump will find himself in more and more of a bind as the already ample evidence against him only increases, all right? And what I'm bringing this up is to say is this. We already know that Kenneth Chesebro is cooperating in states like Michigan, all right, Wisconsin, recently Nevada, and they're saying Arizona next, all right, and any other state where they started to try to make, they started this fraudulent fake elector scheme, all right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's give Donald Trump once again and his fake elector scheme a round of booze and shame, because they thought they would get away with it like it was a Scooby-Doo cartoon. They did, only to get caught once again. Because you don't got the mystery bus. Let's give them some booze and shame. Oh my God. Let's move on to our next topic. We're still cooking, all right? All right, this is MAGA on MAGA violence right there. Listen, Johanna Stocker, I hope I said your name right. Thank you so much for the subscription, and thank you for all of you who are following and sharing this out. Make sure you share this to all Trump supporters. Let them know Zeus is on right now and that they might want to buckle up and come to this live. And like I tell you, Trump supporters, this is not a time to argue with Zeus bright and early in the morning. It's too early for that. What you need to do when you come into this live, you need to sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. Yeah. Trump supporters have no credibility with Zeus. They have none, okay? We have been doing a lot of lecturing and a lot of teaching as far as I'm concerned, all right? So now the Trump supporters are turning on each other. Check this story out. They lie. Trump ally wages war on right-wing influencers and the Republican grifters. Oh, yeah. At least one Donald Trump loyalist has no problem upsetting those within the same party. Trump, who has no problems attacking conservatives and self-described Republicans and makes a point of mentioning that during his rallies, has had a positive relationship with the leader of the House GOP, MAGA Mike Johnson. Wow. In fact, Johnson has made a pilgrimage to Trump recently and then submitted an impeachment inquiry against Joe Biden upon returning. Wow. But Laura Loomer, all right, who says she once was hired by Trump only to be dropped after a New York Times piece about her was published, is standing up against Johnson and the whole House GOP. This is what she went onto her platform and said. Oh my gosh. So funny watching all the Republican grifters who rallied around Mike Johnson as Speaker finally have to admit today just how bad he is, she said. And then she says, I wish right-wing influencers had high IQs. You hear that, MAGA? You hear that, MAGA? So when our friends on the right call you out because you're not as educated as you like to think you are, you can't say it's the Democrats. No, this is MAGA on MAGA. All right. She says she wishes they had higher IQs. Clickbait, that goes to you because you love to brag and talk about how smart you are. You're not that smart, bro. It's kind of depressing having to read so many stupid takes on X all day. Just a reminder of why I avoid so many of them. She sounds like a Democrat, right? Let's keep it going. It's crazy, isn't it? This is what she posted later. It's crazy, isn't it? And then I get attacked and nobody ever says, you were right. I'm sorry for saying you were wrong. I warned people, but as usual, so many on the right were willing to just run away with their breadcrumbs from the GOP. I don't like breadcrumbs. Ooh, I love when this MAGA on MAGA truth starts to flow. Oh my gosh, it's like she had a conversation with Zeus in MAGAville once. All right, and then last but not least, she went ahead and accused the House GOP of lying to America. All right, and this is for you Trump supporters. These aren't my words. These are the words of another MAGA-possessed individual who's had a bit of a clear gap in terms of understanding, right? This is why I keep it real. Some people call me a B word. Gotta keep it clean. Call me the B word and say I'm crazy and mean-spirited, but I am simply giving you the truth. The Trump loyalist wrote yesterday, I always say there's nothing more evil you can do to someone than to string them along with false hope. Wow. That's all the House GOP does. That's all they do. They lie. They lie. They fundraise off their lies and people suffer. I call them out, which is why they hate me. The American people deserve the truth. Consider me your friendly neighborhood black pill dealer. Wow. I never run out of my supply. It's never ending. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, wow. What a message. This is earth-shattering. This is crazy that this is going on in MAGAville. But like I said, this is what happens when you talk to folks like myself or my friends. When we tell you the truth, this is what they end up doing. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to go ahead and give Laura Loomer, let's give her a round of applause, all right? She did tell the truth. But, hold on. Join me in giving Donald Trump and MAGA another round of booze and shame. Because this line right here where she says, they fundraise off their lies and people suffer. That's why we're going to give Donald Trump and his supporters some booze and shame. Because you haven't figured it out yet. This is about you getting played the ultimate because you haven't figured it out yet. This is about you getting played the ultimate. Complaining about the economy, you don't feel it. This is what a lot of these folks, I don't feel it yet, because the economy is clearly a lot healthier than they expected. Folks are doing a lot better. The numbers are out. Numbers don't lie. People do. And a lot of you Trump supporters are suffering because what she just said, they're fundraising off of lies and the people suffer. I'm not suffering. I'm not suffering from this because I don't follow this nonsense. You do. Oh, I got some dissension in the comments. You know what I said earlier?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah. If you're suffering right now, the United States of America, especially if you're a Trump supporter, just pack your bags and leave. You shouldn't be suffering, but because you choose to believe Donald Trump's lies and you support him with your 401ks and your savings and checking accounts and whatever accounts you can get, you probably steal from your mothers and grandmothers to send this man some money. You darn right your behind's going to be there suffering. And I could care less. I really don't care. I don't care. Nope. Don't cry about those eggs again. Don't cry about the gas price. These people are coming up in the live. They came into the live. Where's Raptor at? They just start making up the price of gas now. It's down, and they'll still come out here. How much is gas where you're at, Zeus? I tell them the price. That's just too high. That's too high. No, Zeus. Your gas where you're at is $10 a gallon. That's what's going on. Biden's ripping. Hey, cut it out. Let's talk about liars and grifters and stuff like that. All right, I'm almost done, and then we can open up these boxes. All right. This is a pastor at Iowa rally threatens judgment retribution when Donald Trump becomes the 47th president. All right. And so what I want to make sure we all understand is the beginning. Donald Trump has been paving the way for himself to become a dictator. Right. And it starts with a bunch of right-wing lunatics. All right. You got Mike Huckabee warning that if Trump's legal problems prevent him from winning the 2024 election, it's going to be the last American election that will be decided by the ballots rather than bullets. All right. So they're threatening violence. All right. If Trump doesn't win, we'll burn it down. This is what they're trying to say. Another person, Nick Fuentes. This is what he said. He's calling for an annihilation of atheists. All right. And others who don't support Donald Trump. I would play it, but in the interest of time, I can't. All right. And then we get to this deranged, MAGA possessed demon pastor. All right. At the rally a couple of days ago. Let's see what he says.
We must not lose sight that this election is part of a spiritual battle. There are demonic forces at play. But I want to remind those who have fallen prey to the leadership of such demons, have fallen prey to the diabolic forces, and have become pawns to their schemes. Romans chapter 13, verse 1 through 4. This is the warning. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted. And those who do so will bring judgment on themselves, and judgment is coming. And when Donald Trump becomes the 47th president of the United States, there will be retribution against all those who have promoted evil in this country.
See, on one hand, this deranged, MAGA-possessed demon, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. The devil knows scripture. Anybody that spends any time in the church, the devil knows scripture. That's how he tricks everybody. All he do is whisper a little scripture in your ear, and then he mixes it up with some little poison, right? They say rat poison is 1% poison, and then it's 99% food, and then 1% poison. That's what this so-called pastor is doing. So he's going to openly say you're supposed to obey your government, all right? The one God put here, which means you Trump supporters need to sit your special behinds down and listen to what President Biden is saying, because he is the one running this government. See, you can't have it both ways. Okay, like my good friend said, you're lacking a lot of discernment. And then you should have known, the moment he injected Donald Trump into this nonsense, you should have known right then and there, he was just lying to you. He's not an agent of light, he's an agent of darkness. So ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving this so-called fake pastor for Donald Trump a round of booze and shame. Get the tomatoes out, please. He deserves it. This is a MAGA demon on steroids. You give him a microphone, and not only is he going to lie to you, but he's going to try to use the Bible to do it. Let's give him some booze and shame. Get him out of here. I tell you what, a sucker is born every day, and you Trump supporters ain't nothing but some new licks. And every morning, it's so easy to do this. Y'all make this so easy. I can't believe you folks are adults and y'all fall for this stuff. Something's really wrong with your minds. I shouldn't have to do this day in and day out. I shouldn't. And anybody that promotes or openly supports Donald Trump without reconsidering and questioning the things he's doing, that's a red flag. Even though I support President Biden, you bet your bottom dollar I'm questioning everything that man does. I've never been that unhinged. And believe you me, I used to party like a rock star. I've never been that unhinged to where I am 110% in, and I'm going to allow another grown man to sun me 24/7 like a lot of you Trump supporters do. Y'all have really lost your mind. Speaking of losing your mind, let's move on to our last and final topic, all right? Many of you know what I do. We cover what's happening to these so-called traitors and terrorists that attacked our Capitol on January 6th. And this is an interesting story, all right? This defendant says he suffers from Foxmania. You can't make this stuff up. I have no reason to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up. You can't fix stupid. You really can't. So let's get into this. January 6th defendant, whose lawyers say he was infected with Foxmania, pled guilty to felony charge stemming from the January 6, 2021 insurrection. Wow. Anthony Alexander Antonio, triple A's. He's triple A's, huh? 29 years dumb. Pleaded guilty to obstruction of an official proceeding. Wow. Antonio's lawyer, Joseph Hurley, said he was infected with Foxmania after watching too much of the right-wing news channel, saying it played constantly in his home for 6 months. Wow. He became hooked with what I call Foxitis or Foxmania. And he became interested in the political aspect and started believing what was being fed to him. Antonio admitted in his statement that he yelled at police before joining the standoff at the Lower West Tunnel of the Capitol. He shouted, "You want war? And we got war. 1776 all over again." You can hear him in Clickbait's voice and Sir Puff's voice. You can hear it if you use your imagination. He took a shield that was stolen from the police and shoved his way through the front of the crowds and watched as other rioters dragged a police officer down a flight of stairs. Antonio then sprayed water and threw his water bottle in the direction of the officer who was being dragged by other rioters, according to the statement. He also took a police gas mask and forcefully pushed and grappled with police officers and refused to leave the tunnel until sprayed with a chemical irritant. After entering the Capitol through a broken window, he joined other rioters in a Senate hideaway office where they barricaded the door, broke everything, so we'd have something to use against them. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. We have evidence. Often we ask these Trump supporters, where do you get your news from? And in 2023, especially in MAGAville, all of them will deny they watch the news. But we got something special today. We got a Trump supporter who's on record, under oath, admitting that he watched a lot of Fox News, and I actually believe him. He does suffer from Foxmania. Yeah, he was injected with it. I believe you, champ. I do. And that's why you believe everything Donald Trump says. And that's why you put your freedom on the line for him on January 6th. I 110% agree with you, champ. And because of that, I'm going to do you like, when I used to get a whooping back in the day, you tell your mom or dad why you did it. And then they go, well, okay, well, I'm glad you're honest. Now it's time to pay the price. And so with that being said, sir, because you allowed yourself to become a vassal of transgression for Donald Trump, and because you allowed yourself to be injected with Foxitis, and now you suffered from Foxmania and you did what you did, you broke the law, you're going to have to do the time. All right? Congratulations. You played yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving this seditionist, treasonous traitor what he deserves. Some booze and shame. And you know what we got to do? Whenever we send one of them off, we got to send them off the old-fashioned way. Let's send him off the old-fashioned way with his foxitis, his Foxmania behind. May you enjoy prison.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You heard what your leader just said. You do not represent our country. You broke the law. You engaged in attacking law enforcement officers in our very capital using your heinous acts of violence. You were under his spell. You suffer from Foxmania, foxitis. And at the end of the day, you will pay. May you enjoy prison, however long you get. If it was up to me, you know what I've been saying. If you're lucky, this is the United States, because this would have been another country, North Korea, China, Russia. They wouldn't be this kind. If it was up to me, I'd say, Elon, give me one of those SpaceX rockets. Give me one of them. Oh, you're still in production? I don't care. I got a couple of Trump supporters. Yeah, they like to feel froggish and leap all the time. They suffer from foxitis and foxmania. I let them go in that space shuttle. Let's send them to Mars and tell them we'll come and get them if it doesn't work out. I'd do that to you. Yeah, if you're angry and upset right now, trust me, you're not upset with me. You're upset with yourself. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You should thank me because I'm the one that's telling you the truth. I'm not out here lying to you. All right, you ain't mad at me. You're mad at yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. All right, it's like my grandmother always says, tell the truth and shame the devil. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. We got a bunch of liars out here, okay? And it's very, very important that we hold them accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, all right? And no, don't ask me to take it back. Don't ask me to change a single thing about my format of my show. This is not for you. Like I said earlier, you do what you do and you let me do what I do. And like I always say,
if you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
Yeah.
It's okay too.
Yeah.
But if you're not happy, you can
Go
leave.
ahead and leave. I don't care. I am not losing any sleep over a Trump supporter. Trust me. I sleep real good at night knowing I delivered somebody from this demonic cult that they're in. That's how I feel. Now, you might still be stuck on whatever you're doing. You still could do what you do. But I'm not losing any sleep over you deranged, MAGA-possessed folks. Thank you for the gift. Oh, my God. We made it halfway through our goal. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the subscriptions. All right, ladies and my good friend, brother attacking. Welcome to the abbreviated show.
Well,
Right?
good.
You.
Hey, I'm all right. How are you, my good friend?
I'm good. You know what? I found the proof that the Republicans are looking for on Joe Biden.
Oh, what's that?
Well, let me show you.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Attacking.
no bribes, no money from China, no quid pro quo. You know, no money from Russian oligarchs. You know,
Wow.
none of that stuff. So I have a box
Look a
of.
little deeper. I swear, there's something in that box. You're not looking deep enough. Attacking. Come on.
Well, I'm trying, and I can't find anything.
Wow.
So I have a box of nothing. And that's exactly what the Republican Party has, a box of nothing.
Wow.
Ever since they did the impeachment inquiry vote, everybody who has talked on TV says the same thing. Well, we're doing this to get information. Well, hold on. I thought you guys said you had information.
Right.
I mean, you've been doing this for the past year. You keep saying we've got bank accounts, we have the LLCs, we have this, we have that. Well, if you have it,
Bingo.
why do you have to look for it?
Bingo.
And again, with Hunter Biden, you gave him an option: behind closed doors or an open session. He chose open session. And what happened? You said, no, we're not going to do that. No. It didn't turn out the first time with Devin Archer. He kind of screwed us. So we're not talking about him anymore.
Can I ask you a question about that while we're at this point?
Yeah.
I was in a live yesterday, and they believe on the right that him testifying in a closed door room is better than him testifying in public in front of Americans. What is your opinion about that?
Well, let's put it this way. Right after the Devin Archer questioning, they came out immediately and said that he was, and gave them information. But then as soon as the transcripts came out and were posted, they shut up. Because his transcripts showed, no, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden didn't receive $3.5 million from the wife of a Moscow mayor. No, there was no $5 million transferred to Joe Biden. No, Victor Shokin was not fired because of him investigating Burisma, but he was removed by all the European countries, the International Monetary Foundation. All these people wanted him removed because he wasn't investigating criminal activity.
Bingo.
So Burisma liked him there because they weren't investigating him. So that's the thing. Everything that Devin Archer said, they haven't said anything. Now, James Comer was on Maria.
He's not lying. He's not lying. No one before me. Attacking is not lying. Cut it out. Keep going. I'm sorry.
So James Comer was on Maria Bartinova's show yesterday saying that Devin Archer said that Joe Biden received $5 million. And he fired Victor Shokin because he was investigating his son. Well, I made a video.
Oh.
And I read the portion of the questioning of Devin Archer on my video that counteracts what James Comer said.
Oh.
So it nullifies it.
So James Comer is lying from what you're saying.
Again,
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He's been called out. He's been called out by Steve Ducey from Fox News in the morning. You have all these documents here, but you don't have Joe Biden's name on them.
Wow. Got it.
Let's bring somebody else up who has some better information than I do. And by the way, Rudy Giuliani's in court this morning again for the defamations to see if he owes these women, which he should.
The black women he attacked.
Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. Yes, the women that their lives were threatened because of the lies that Rudy Giuliani put onto them. Yes.
Bingo. I hope he gets what he deserves. I hope
So
Rudy Giuliani they make an example out of him for each and every single Trump supporter to look at. This is exactly what will happen to your behind if you do what Rudy did, lie the way you did. You sent your dogs on these two black women. Mm. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You Trump supporters, this is why we do what we do. We engage in these kind of conversations to help make sure that when it's all said and done, you have no excuse for your nonsense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Brother Attacking a round of applause. No lies detected. You know the rules. You want to get in the box, you got to tell the truth and shame the devil, all right? Good morning, beautiful Shay. How are you doing this lovely Friday, all right?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, you know. It's a bit of it's an abbreviated show. Zeus has to leave a little early, but
Yeah.
I'm
I know. I
trying
gotta
to
get
get
off.
as many as I can before I get up out of here. All right. I really
I
will
hear
try.
you. I hear you, my friend. Yeah, I got to get off to work this morning too. So thanks for bringing me up. Let me get my
Fair enough.
booty in the
Fair
shower.
enough. Thank you.
But yeah, so yeah, yesterday was fun in the bear cave, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
we were
fun.
in MAGAville yesterday together.
Yes, we were in MAGAville, all right. And sadly, there was no margaritas to go with it. It was not a happy time.
Nope.
It was, you know, it is something, I tell you. So much, and I said this yesterday, there's an intense problem going on with the Republican Party. But this
Right.
is due to, as you see, Laura Loomer, who is that woman is nuts. Like,
Right.
for her to be coming out and saying this about the party is, but this is usually what happens. They ride the Trump train until it turns around and throws them off the cliff, right?
Yep.
And then they turn on it like a viper, right? So that's what I've noticed and what happened his entire 4 years of presidency, you had all these people riding the loyalist train until he turned around and said something against them. Or they
Bingo.
witnessed the lies, or they
Bingo.
witnessed the crimes.
Bingo.
And they realized they didn't want to go to prison for him or for anybody else. And so then they turned around and wrote tell-all books and got on national TV and said that he's incompetent, that he's corrupt, that he's narcissistic,
Yep.
all of these things. And so then I don't know if y'all saw Paul Ryan's video that came out. And if you remember who Paul Ryan is, he was his Speaker of the House for 2 years, first 2 years of his presidency.
Bingo.
He was the one that got that wonderful tax cut pushed through that cost us $7 trillion into our deficit.
Wow. But even Paul Ryan is singing a new song, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He literally came out and said exactly what? That he's a fascist, that he wants to be Adolf Schmittler. He came at it hard and said this guy is not right for the office, right? And so I did a video on this account. There is a video on Truth Social that he put out that basically is a video showing that Trump, obviously he's not going to live 1,000 years, but that the legacy of MAGA, or whatever they're going to call this party, will rule for 1,000 years.
Seriously, Shay? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. And so, do y'all know anybody else that had a regime that was going to last 1,000 years? Anybody? I want to see my historians in the chat, see if anybody knows who that resembles and what that was called in the 1930s.
Lucky, how are we comedy? She's telling you the truth. How's this funny to you?
Anybody?
You should be alarmed.
I'm waiting to see if anybody can answer what that was called. Yeah, it was called the Third Reich. Do y'all remember that?
Tell them.
Yeah, the Third Reich under Schmittler was to last 1,000 years. So again, he's not hiding it, guys. He's coming out and telling you, I want to be a dictator.
Yeah.
He's saying it all the time now. He's running with this narrative because he doesn't have anything to lose, right? He might as well just come out and just put it out there and keep that base angry and keep that base thinking this is the right thing.
Bingo.
And so that's what he's doing. But how is that American?
Oh, it's not. If you ask me, it's far from being American.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be able to vote every 4 years? Isn't that your right as an American citizen? That's your right in the Constitution. We are to vote for a president every 4 years. So what he's saying is, we don't want you to vote. We're just going to rule for 1,000 years. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we maintain power, that we stay in power. And that's what I always tell my conservative friends. The problem is the party no longer runs on policy. They no
Bingo.
longer push policy. They no longer get anything done. And, Janae, and I understand, and listen, I get it. It's very frustrating to be a Republican right now because you do have things you want to see done. You
Bingo.
do have things that you believe in and that you staunchly believe in, and you don't want women hurt and all this, but you really were pro-life and you're this and you're that. And so they don't like to be taking it up the hoo-ha every time when we turn around and talk about Kate Cox and we talk about this, and we talk about that. It's like, yeah, but I'm like, but this is what's happening. And whether you want to admit it or not, every time you vote for this, this is the causes of those votes. But that's not what I voted for. That's not why I voted. You can't label me that. That's not what I wanted. Yeah,
Tell
but
him,
that's
Shay.
what's going on with your party.
Bingo. Bingo. Now I gotta move on. Shay.
Yeah, I know you do, my friend. All right, I'm
All right.
out. Everybody have a wonderful day.
All right.
I'm done. Woohoo! All right, bye, guys.
All right, and if I don't see you any later, I'll see you next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's
You
get back
bet,
to the
Zeus.
beautiful
All right, take care, my
Shay.
friends.
No lies
Bye.
detected. No lies detected. All right, we're cooking this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna try to get through as many folks as we can. All right. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. We have a newcomer. Good morning. Who is this right here?
Hey, good morning.
Nathan Bass. Good morning. It's our first time doing business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
it,
I gotta ask you the questions that matter most. Let's get straight to it. First question: do you think the 2020 presidential election was stolen by President Biden? Yes or no?
no, I don't think it was stolen by President Biden.
Good. Thank you. Next question. In your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th?
Numerous individuals, numerous entities.
Can you be a little more specific?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So you had Trump supporters.
Oh, and who else? Would you say
Uh,
Donald Trump was?
no, FBI with their staged.
Oh, okay,
I got
okay,
proof.
okay.
I got proof.
Oh,
You
you
want the
got
proof?
that one wrong, Nathan.
You want the
Next
proof?
question. Nope. You only got, listen, next question. The audience will decide your fate, all right? Keep going. Last and final question. Do you think President Biden or Hillary Clinton are guilty of crimes?
Absolutely. Which year? Which year?
Now, why do you think folks are booing you left and right in this on this platform? What do you think they're
Both
doing
both
that?
both parties are both sides are dirty. You know
Okay,
that.
okay. I can't go with that. All right. There's only one side trying to take away our country's democracy, and that's the right. Now, what is the question you had for us with your 3 minutes? All right. I mean, I'll let the crowd decide where your fate. What do you got for us? But I'm ready.
My
I'm gonna let you know you're off to a bad start.
my question to you is this: what in your life experience ever told you that Democrats care about anything but power? Um,
Oh,
anything
so
but power. The
so
Democrat Party hates America. Mark
right.
Levin, read that book, buddy.
Okay.
That'll school you. I defy you to find one incorrect thing. The Democrat
Okay.
Party hates America.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, man.
so let me ask you this question, all right? And this is a question I ask a lot of people. How many felony charges does Donald Trump currently have?
Oh gosh, I lost count. It's like over 90, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you think he hates America more than the Democrats?
No, absolutely not. He loves this country. He loves this country, man.
So let me ask you this question. What makes you think Donald Trump loves this country if he's always getting caught breaking the law?
Okay, so he's under indictment, correct?
Right. And that
Okay,
means he's pretty
he
much
hasn't been
guilty because
convicted.
wait a second, earlier
But
you said
Zeus,
you
he hasn't been
believe
convicted
President
yet. What
right,
about
but
due
why did
process? Do you believe in due process, Zeus? Be an honest broker.
hold on. You're over talking Zeus. Cut it out. Now now the first thing I wanted to say is this. You said President Biden is guilty of crimes, right? and,
Absolutely.
and, and he hasn't been charged. So So why are you so quick to say President Biden is guilty of crimes and he hasn't been charged? And then you
Well,
sit up here and defend Donald Trump.
I'm 52 years old. I've watched his criminal behavior since I was a child, man.
You're talking about Donald Trump's. I agree. Yeah, he's been behaving like a criminal for a while, right? You see him in New York. He's being found liable of fraud. What do you think of that? That's a
Is
court. That's actual a court coming to a decision saying he's guilty of fraud. Surely you would believe the judge in that case, right?
summary judgment
Yeah,
was made on that
we're in the
before
penalty
any.
phase. We're in the penalty. So here's the thing, Nathan. I'm having a hard time with MAGA because I wish you all would simply own your BS. And what I mean by that is, let's just take January 6th for an example. You know good and well it was you and your friends that did that. You do know that, right? You
Okay, so
why not just own that and be a man
okay.
for once in your life?
Well, let me ask you this.
Listen, weren't you raised back in the day when it was some honor in owning your BS? Weren't you from that
Let, let
cloak?
me a- let me answer your question. Okay.
Wait,
I
you
look
didn't
at
answer
I
my
look
question.
I
I'm
look at all
asking.
sides.
Listen, I'm asking. You're a grown man. You have children.
Yes, I do. I have three
If your
grown
children,
children.
okay, if your children do something bad, do you teach them to own it, or do you teach them that they should put it off on somebody else?
Well, I think that
No,
any
no, no.
good parent would.
That was a straightforward
I'm
question.
trying to answer the question,
Oh,
Zeus.
okay, hurry up. Well,
I
I
think
gotta
any good
go.
parent would teach him to own it, man.
Okay, thank you. So Donald Trump and his supporters should own January 6th because it was them. BLM, Antifa, and the FBI wouldn't do such a thing, especially when they were winning. Why would I go set myself up when I've already won? It doesn't make sense, Nathan.
Are you saying that
What
the FBI was on on
No, I'm
the
saying
on the side
no,
of
no.
Biden?
I never mentioned the FBI.
That sounds. That's
I'm
what you
saying,
said.
I'm saying to you, it was a bunch of Trump flags. It was Donald Trump planning Stop the Steal. It wasn't the FBI. It wasn't BLM and Antifa. And why are you afraid to own it? Just like you should own you watch Fox News.
I'm not afraid of anything. I watch
Well, then
MSNBC.
admit it. It was Trump
Hey,
supporters.
hey,
Admit it.
Zeus,
Admit
Zeus.
it. Nathan,
I
admit
already
it.
told you they were part of it.
No, no, I
They,
didn't say part of it. I asked you earlier who was responsible, and you wouldn't admit it was Donald Trump and his supporters. Just admit it on TikTok in front of everybody for the first time in your life that it
let,
was
let me
Donald Trump
let
that
me
was
ask you
responsible for it.
let me ask you one question. I've already disagreed with that. Let me ask you a question. Have you watched any of the testimony from the
Oh,
FBI to
time's up.
Congress?
Listen, I watched the testimony. That's why I'm giving it to you
Yeah,
the way I
yeah.
am.
Wouldn't answer, would he? Wouldn't answer. Have you seen the film of them cutting
Have you?
down the
Wait a
fences?
second. Have you read
FBI
Cassidy
cutting down
Hutchinson?
fences.
Listen. Last question.
They've
Have you
charged
read?
people with walking outside, the
I
Capitol.
gotta drop him. I gotta drop him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get him out of here because I gotta bring up the next guest and his time was up. But I'll let the crowd decide, Nathan. To those in the audience, if Nathan was telling the truth, please put a number one. If he was lying, please put a number two. Which one is it? Which one was it, ladies and gentlemen? Which number was it? One or two? Two's lies, one's truth. Which one is it? Two? Two? Put a bunch of twos. All right, Nathan. Congratulations, but you were wrong. Let's give him his booze and shame. Jesus Christ. Nathan, the crowd has decided. People here come to hear the truth every single day. You were lying in the box, all right? And I gave you a full 3 minutes to correct yourself. And so what you need to do, Nathan, is honestly, thank you for having the courage to get up in here and try. But you really do need to just sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. Let's move on to our next topic. Oh my gosh, Superwoman, good morning. I see you out here. Okay, let's keep it going. Oh my gosh. How are you
Hey,
doing? Hey,
Zeus.
I'm all right. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Happy
So,
Friday.
you know what? You, as usual, you are on they behinds this morning.
you
You
know,
should
they
be proud of that.
I'm doing what I gotta do. Let's put it that way. They know they don't know any better, and that's why they come in here and listen to this truth.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is, and they know it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I don't think they understand what it is inside of them either.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
driving them to be in support of somebody like him.
Mm.
That's why they
Right.
are looking everywhere, digging as deep as they can, like in their
Mm.
box, right?
Mm. Yeah.
really trying to find something to explain it, but they can't.
Nope,
That's why
not at
they keep
all.
running up short. They're
Yeah, yeah. They trying to go to bat with a small stick, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? You get in there and it's like, what is this? Isn't what I expect. These Trump supporters know it. The jig is up, MAGA. It really is.
It's a wrap. Good morning, Stacy. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, chat.
Stacy.
Uh, I don't know. I think sometimes too, people think that if they drop you out of their live, that they are silencing your voice.
Oh,
And
I saw
did you
Stacy
see
Bear do
that?
that. Yeah, Stacy Bear did that to
Yes,
you.
that was so
Very
mean.
nasty.
Oh my gosh, these bears. They are so mean.
They are.
Anyway, I just wanted to
You
get
handled it like a champion, though. I mean, you
thank
very
you.
classy, very polished. I mean, that's what sends the message, if you ask me. All right, so
You know
keep
what?
up the good work.
I appreciate that, but I'll
Yeah.
also say this, and I'll go before my bell, hopefully. But if we can't talk about something that we're surviving, what does that say about you?
Bingo.
You have to understand that racism, um,
Mm.
slavery is the mother.
Mm.
It's the
Mm.
mother of all of this chaos. It's the
Bingo.
mother of all of this chaos.
Mm.
And if you don't want to talk about that, then you have some healing to do there.
Mm.
You should be
Bingo.
able to talk about these because if you're working on a marriage, what do? You talk about the issues. If you
Bingo.
are having issues at work, you talk about it with your employer.
Mm-hmm.
If you are struggling in sports or if you're doing great in sports, you talk about it. You practice, you
Yeah.
talk about it. If you're sick, you
Amen.
talk about it with your doctor, right?
Amen.
If
Yep.
there's
Yes,
a problem,
Lord.
you're going to talk about it. You cannot tell me that racism is not a problem in America. It's the mother of all of this chaos.
Yep.
So,
You're telling the truth. You're telling the truth.
I just, I feel sad for people like that,
Mm.
you know, that, that can't talk about it. No, talk about it. Okay. And, what a white supremacy mindset within itself to think that you
Mm.
can tell a black woman that
Oh.
she can't talk about something that she is surviving. It just
Bingo.
is, it's ridiculous. Listen, that's
Bingo.
MAGA for you though. You
Bingo.
cannot expect them to
Yazzie.
be intelligent people. You cannot expect them to process, details. It's a struggling party, man. We have to make sure we are voting in
Amen.
2024. Talk to your
Amen.
teenagers, talk to, their friends, find out
Amen.
through your kids what their friends are talking about. We have to get
Amen.
involved so much more than we've had to in the last 20 years. But,
Amen.
but now it is absolutely time, guys. This is a
Hmm.
revolution. We have to stay ready so we can
I
protect ourselves.
I
I'm just
completely
worried
agree.
about people like that because they shouldn't have a platform. I'm sorry. How do people like this have a platform?
Mm. Well, their leader has created it for them, right? And that's something in itself. But we're going after the head of the dragon, all right, Superwoman.
Exactly.
Keep up the good fight.
Yep. So anyway, Trump for prison 2024.
I love
That
it.
man is diaper.
Yeah, I love it.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you so much for letting me up. And I did hear that bell. So thanks, Chad. I appreciate y'all. Later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the beautiful Superwoman a round of applause. No lies detected. All right, I can only do one more, then I gotta wrap it up. But I'll say this though, in light of what Superwoman has said on this platform, women, especially black women, they will always have a voice. All right, I'm not into all of that silencing. Now, if you get up here, now if you're one of those Russian bears, there's a caveat to that. Hold on. If you're a Russian bear, I'm not going to allow you to get too far out of line before I, have to reel you back in. All right. But yes, we don't want the truth to be suppressed. It needs to get out here. All right. And so I think what I'm hearing, and listen up, MAGA, you need to figure out on the right how to have conversations about race relations in this country without getting all triggered and upset. And as I told Nathan, own your BS. MAGA, own your toxic behavior. Stop trying to put it off on everybody else. You need to own it. January 6th is a good starting place. Own it. Don't go on TikTok and talk about Ghostbusters and FBI. Own it. It was Marjorie Trader Green. That was the pipe bomber. That's what they say if you look at how she walks, right? Own it. All right. One more panelist, and then I am up, out of here. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's see. Who do we got next? All right. All right. I'm going to go in a different direction, all right? I mean, who's this right here? Good morning, Reverend Clown Whisperer. How are you doing this morning? How are you doing this morning?
You're my favorite creator, and I'm struggling with my microphone.
Okay.
So bear with me 1 second. I know you got to leave.
All right. Let me ask you some questions while you're struggling, and how you answer these questions determines your fate in the kingdom. All right.
All right.
First question: in your opinion, was the 2020 election stolen by President Biden? Yes or no?
No.
All right. All right. Next question: who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th?
Honestly?
Yeah.
A bunch of toothless rednecks.
Oh. And who was the one, instructing and leading the?
Yeah, well, absolutely. He egged it on. He's, as far as I know, they haven't proven. I don't think he set it up, but he set it up.
You're talking about Donald Trump, right?
Absolutely.
All right. You got people in the comments saying Nancy Pelosi, so I was a little concerned. Last and final question: do you think President Biden is guilty of any crime, him or Hillary Clinton?
They came out and said they couldn't find a damn thing yet.
Hey, let's go. We're ending this live strong. All right, Clown Whisperer. Now, what's the history behind the name? I'm curious.
I don't know.
Oh.
I just typed.
Oh, okay.
I've had that. I've had that as part of my email address for decades and decades since Google came out.
Okay. I got you now.
I'm old as hell.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. What do you got for us this bright and early on a Friday?
I was just going to bring something about racism, and then it kind of didn't fit the narrative. I'm going to tell you a real quick backstory. My father in Detroit, 1967, picked me up off the floor and said, "We're going for a walk," and we went, and that was my first civil rights walk.
Oh,
and it was a scary time in Detroit.
Wow.
In 1967, it was, there was a lot of rioting and whatnot, but it was protesting more than rioting. And, but then, after years went by, and it wasn't until maybe a decade ago, I realized I am still racist, because I started hearing people saying all white people are racist, and I'll admit that it kind of bothered me after all my years of marching.
Right.
And not just civil rights, but women's rights, all kinds of LGBTQ plus rights.
Right.
And, so it kind of bothered me, but then I realized, it is not self-hating to admit that you have racist thoughts. It's inevitability in our society. It's the way our society is built. So
it sounds like you're taking accountability for your actions and your behavior, right?
Yeah. Well,
and that's a step. That's a huge step that a lot of folks really need to lean into more these days, right?
They have to realize and not put blame on society. Own the thoughts that you have that prove to only you and yourself that you still hold racist beliefs, even if they're not conscious. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're just little fleeting thoughts that pop in your head, but they shape the way you view people. And if they shape the way that you view others, it is racist.
Bingo.
And it is not killed. And I think it's going to take a long time, but I think we can do it. We can get rid of these thoughts where you don't react on any level to the color of someone's skin or the clothes they wear that indicate what they believe in.
You're spot on. You are spot on.
Happen.
It will. That's why I do what I do, and it seems like you are helping that process. It's understanding what the truth is and then applying it to your beliefs, right?
Yeah. Well,
unpacking, huh?
Yeah, I did something proactive about 5 years ago. I intentionally moved into an extremely mixed color neighborhood because I was so tired of the toothless rednecks I had to deal with on a daily basis.
Wow. That's huge, my friend.
I have never had a better, more happy life than I do now as far as the people that I interact with. And it's just been
wow. You hear this? You hear this, folks?
Yeah.
Now listen, Reverend, did I tell you to come in and say this stuff? Because a lot of people might say, I paid you some money, me and George Soros, to come in here and say this truth. Did I tell you to say this?
I got no. That's ridiculous that anyone would even have that kind of mindset. The conspiratorial mindset to think such a thing. But no, I wanted to bring it up because of your last guest.
Yeah, Superwoman. Yeah, she does an excellent job. Yes,
it's okay to recognize your individual racism and your thoughts because that's the only way you get past them. I mean, if you recognize it, admitting is half the battle right there. So
yeah, all right.
Thank you for having me, brother.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Clown Whisperer a round of applause. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Zeus does have to go tend to other affairs. I have a prior engagement. Oh my gosh.
Okay, later. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you, champ. I have a prior engagement that I must get to. All right. It was a pleasure hosting you all this lovely Friday morning. I really do wish I could stay longer. I would if I could, but I really do need to go. Okay, but before I go, I want to give a special thank you to all of you. All right, you did an excellent job. Thank you for helping me to meet the milestone. Thank you for those who subscribed. It really does help out. Thank you to all of my moderators. You did an excellent job keeping the live clean, especially you, Dark Yazzie. I see you attacking. Thank you, all my panelists. And to all my critics and detractors. Everyone, let's give them what they deserve. Booze and shame. Do better, MAGA. Do better. All right. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets.
Oh, this is hard.
I'm out of here.
They said, oh, well, you know that ain't gonna go over well.
Have a great rest of your day.
I'm Zeus. I feel great. I'm out of this world like an alien. On my way to a new galaxy. Crashing out in every city.
Hey.
Crashing out like I'm in my 20s. I'm on a big screen. Let's do a live stream.
Let's go.
Who's my steam?
Hey.
You know it come with the beats. I'm locking these colors in my thumb on the beat. Cutting up the character, you know it's on. Got a few spots when it's time to lay low. Jackpot, that's payroll. Gonna make a regret when they said no. This is monopoly, do a lash around. Got that 91, I'm boosting. Got that jet, feel old. I'm boosting. Got the mother and the man. I'm boosting.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm boosting. Hit the power, all systems go. I'm a god, but the angels are sending funds. My whip's just plus I got suicidal thoughts. All this bread coming in by the low. Roll the dice and crap out on me. I got what I lost back like 3B.
Hey!
11, I'm boosting my esteem. 5 equals. That's another stack coming in the mail. I'm a beginning student, cause that's swell. When you this big, they call you the whale. I'm just one like an angel. Way to a new galaxy. I'm crashing out in every city.
Crashing out like I'm in my 20s.
I'm boosting. Got the mustard and the man.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. We're out of here. We're out of here. Take care. You know what we do over here on this side of town. We tell the truth and shame the devil.
This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like